Good afternoon, everybody. It is a nice Sunday here in the shop. Well, actually, it's a little dreary out there, but hey, we're making it happen. And I want to share with you what I've been tinkering with. Now, those of you probably know that I recently reinstalled a coal forge here in the shop. I've been needing this. When you're doing architectural work and doing fancy work, the coal forge is great because if you're doing larger pieces, you can actually fit it into the coal forge, which you can't really do with the gas forges. But what I want to show you today is the difference between having dedicated tools and then just doing things quote unquote by hand. So I'm going to do another fire screen, and I wanted to try to branch out a little bit, and I've been looking at some of the really cool architectural work that's been coming out of Russia lately. And you know, none of their iron work is usually just bare. It's usually incised. It's got some nice, textures to it. It's awesome stuff. So I said, well, I'm going to do this big circle and, maybe come in and add some pieces to it. And I'd like to have me some grooves running in there. So I actually got to work and made myself a blunt chisel. Completely ripped the form off from Big Blue, if you haven't seen their stuff. I've stolen a lot of stuff from Big Blue back in the day. I believe these came right off the set of Master of Arms. So sorry guys about taking out your profit margin, but you make great stuff. Anyway, I needed this chisel here. And so did all this by hand. I did not make a round form, and you can see it's a little off. It's okay for government purposes. And it looks pretty good. You know, if you're forging, you've got a nice little groove right here, but I had to go piece by piece all the way around. So this hoop probably took me about 3 hours to do. And this is 1 inch by 1/2 inch material. Got a nice little forge weld right there. Shut your mouth. There's a little bit of a lap there. Don't worry about it. But it's a decent looking piece. Now, the problem is I spent 3 or 4 hours working on this thing, and it's not really up to par for what I would consider a professional piece. Now, I want to show you what I did a little bit later, because I said to myself, if I want to make more of this, Jesus Christ, it took forever to do this, and that's not any way to make a profit. And to be honest, it looks good, but it don't look great. So how do you make great? Well, that is where bottom tools come in. And let me show you what, again, take a look. Looks good. Not bad. Way freaking better. This piece looks like the old stuff. This piece is super awesome. Same base stock material, 1 inch by 1/2 inch. The difference is, instead of having to go around this joker with this guy for 3 hours, this took me about maybe 10 minutes. Why? Because I stopped and made a bottom tool like this. Now again, this is a super crappy bottom tool. There is nothing traditional looking about this damn thing. However, this is made to fit under my power hammer. You can see a little hardy attachment here. This guy pops in there, drops down, and you just stick your bar in there and boom, 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 and awesomeness erupts from it. So, how did I make this? Well, pretty simply. This is actually a negative. So this end right here, this was the original end. I didn't use a die for this. I took some 1/4 inch rod, heated this piece up, and had somebody hold that piece of 1/4 inch rod and basically just hammered it down into this piece here. Once I had about 1.5 inches done, all I did is I took a blank, and I think this was a 1.5 inches by 1 inch little block of axle steel. Heated this up, put this on top of it, and beat the hell out of it and made an impression. So then I just swapped up. I let this cool, welded it up, came back and heated this, and just ran this whole joker through there. So again, this awesome, super awesome piece, which beats the crap out of this piece, took me about 10 minutes, whereas to do all this probably took me an hour just to chisel everything in. And you can tell there's still overlap marks, and it's just not professional. This is one of the reasons that you really look, I mean, nobody has to figure this stuff out. People have been using this type of equipment, in the entire history of blacksmiths. So the trick is, sometimes you have to do it by hand. But the sooner you can move your blacksmithing to bottom tools and actually the tools that the blacksmith used to make production stuff, the more awesome stuff you're going to make and the faster you are going to make it. You guys take care.